Good morning. So today we are moving on from the abolitionist and we are going to talk about the Civil War approaches. There's a few things that we're going to talk about this week for that, but the first one is federal versus state governments. Before we get into this PowerPoint, I want you guys to be familiar with the term sectionalism. So sectionalism meant that the interest of each section of the country, so the North or the South, was more important to the people of that region than the interest of that country as a whole. So what sectionalism is, if you live in the North, your interest, the things that you wanted the government to do, benefited you where you lived, not the country as a whole. And the same with the South. Southerners wanted slavery because it was better for them, but not necessarily better for the country as a whole. This is what sectionalism is. So the federal versus state government. The northern and southern sections of the country had different ideas about the power of the federal government. We know this, we've talked about this. We know that the North wanted the federal government to have more power, and we know that the South wanted the state government to have more power. The reason the South wanted the state government to have more power was because of slavery. So they believed that if the state government had more power, they would be able to protect slavery. They would be able to keep slavery. The reason for this, they thought that a state government which was closer to the people would be easier to influence. So they fought and they argue they would do what they needed to do to make sure that the state governments in the South would have more power than the federal government. That's kind of one of the factors that led to the Civil War. The North, however, like I said, they wanted the federal government to have more power. Because of this, they kind of disagreed with the state government being more powerful. They disagreed with slavery and a bunch of other things. So because of this, that's why we ended up with the two political parties known as the Federalists and Anti-Federalists. This eventually, all this built up and led to the Civil War.